What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another video. And I will also be welcoming you to a new series. We are going to call it Fit Food Fridays because everybody loves a good alliteration. For those people that aren't vocabulary nerds, it's just like AAA or FFF for Fit Food Fridays. But because we are currently doing this ketogenic cut, we are actually going to do let's call them Fat Fit Food Friday, because all this stuff is all going to be macro friendly and it's going to taste delicious. I'm going to show you how to make it so you can go ahead and make it if you want to, or kind of just do it however you want. So every Friday I'm going to try and make one of these videos because I'm going to be doing my meal prepping, and I'm also going to be doing it earlier in the day so I can actually taste it on the day of as it comes fresh out of the oven after it cools down a little bit, because I'm not trying to burn myself. Without further ado, I will see you back in the kitchen and we'll get cooking. So we're gonna go ahead and cook up some meal, and what we are gonna do is Chicken Divan. It's a really fancy name, but basically all that it is a special cheese sauce with some chicken and some broccoli, thrown kind of casserole style. So let's go ahead and we'll just dive right in. Okay, so here's all the ingredients that we are going to be using. I know you can't see my face, I'm sorry, but it's just how the setup's gonna have to be for now. So we'll get back to the chicken in a second, but you're gonna need 2 chicken breasts, 3 tablespoons of butter, 1 small yellow onion, minced garlic salt. I like garlic powder better because I just prefer pink Himalayan salt, but so garlic powder, salt, chicken stock or chicken broth. You're gonna need a cup of that. Some black pepper, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream, a teaspoon of lemon juice, half a cup of mayonnaise, broccoli, and then cheddar cheese. Okay, and then the chicken breast. So here's the thing about the chicken breast is that I already had chicken thighs in the fridge, so I'm just going to use those, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the drippings from the skin. Usually you would go ahead and just boil a couple of chicken breasts and then you can dice it up that way. But like I said, I already had the chicken thighs. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook these up real quick and take them off the bone, and then I will probably throw them into a pot to start boiling. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Alright, so in the meantime, while the chicken is... Alright, so as you can see, we'll kind of see the chicken is now in this pot. It's over here boiling, it's been de-skinned and deboned. I'm going to be taking this butter. You need 3 tablespoons of it, but because I cooked with the chicken fat, I'm actually going to cut that in half. And also because I don't have the onions, I'm going to cut it in half. So, okay, so now that the butter is in there and heated up, mixed in with the chicken fats, we're going to go ahead and throw a teaspoon of a teaspoon of garlic into there. I use the pre-packaged stuff, but you can use fresh garlic if you want. It'll be kind of the same, but it'll be exactly the same. It's just a little bit more work to mince it. But then you're just gonna cook that up a little bit. I think it's a 1/4 a teaspoon of salt, but with the seasonings, I would just kind of wing it. And same thing with the garlic powder. I believe it's also a 1/4 a teaspoon. I'll post the recipe down below. But you just wing it, and things usually tend to work out. So go ahead and just add in the chicken stock now. You can also make cauliflower rice and throw it in at this point, and let that cook a little bit also. I'm not going to add the cauliflower rice in because I don't want the extra carbs in there, and I don't usually eat rice with my chicken divan anyways, so it's not going to be a problem for me. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in this chicken broth. So the chicken is now done. This the sauce is over here and it is kind of heating up and everything and reducing. So at this point what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and dice up the chicken. Now there's a couple ways you can do this. I'm just going to use like a food processor and blend it all up. Some people would do it into chunks. I just prefer it in the food processor in smaller pieces. It's just easier for me. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we'll be back. Change of plans. I can't find the food processor. One of the problems with living with roommates is things don't always go back where they belong. So we're gonna go back to the sauce. I'm gonna end up just chopping up the chicken into some chunks, kind of finely diced, but I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. I tried cutting already and burnt my fingers. So pull it aside, let it cool off before you do anything with it. So we're gonna come back to the sauce. The first thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and add 1 cup of heavy cream. And make sure that your heating thing is on a lower temperature, because all that you want this to do is just reduce and simmer. You don't want it to actually cook and boil. The next thing that we're going to be adding is going to be ½ cup of mayonnaise. Now, if you're not a big mayonnaise fan, then this probably is not the meal for you. But you know, a lot of the times you can't even taste it, especially because the curry kind of overpowers the mayonnaise. I have a lot of friends that actually aren't mayonnaise fans, but they enjoy this. And if you're a Miracle Whip person, then you're horrible. Just kidding. Definitely not a Miracle Whip person myself though, so I don't really understand it, but if that's you, then good on ya. Next you're going to squeeze in, I think it says a tablespoon of lemon or maybe a fourth or something, I don't know. But like I said, I don't really like measuring this stuff, I just like kind of winging it. So this could be absolutely horrible, but like I said, usually it pans out. Okay, so now this is a kind of secret that I found. It's not really a secret, and some people aren't going to like this at all. You can eat just as easily boil this, the broccoli, but you can also just throw it in the microwave and let it do its thing. So I'm going to chop the chicken, let this broccoli cook, let this simmer down, and I will see you in a few. So the broccoli just finished up. The sauce is now reduced enough. Whew, that's hot. At this point, I'm also going to add, this is the secret ingredient that a lot of people don't put into it, but focus, maybe? Focus? No, it won't. That's okay. Curry powder. You can say I don't know, ½ a teaspoon. Once again though, like I've already mentioned, I don't got time for measuring that. Also the oven has been preheated to 350 degrees. I'm pretty sure the sauce is done. I've turned the heat off at this point because you don't want it to burn to the bottom because there's a lot of creams in here. So you don't want it to burn to the bottom. Let me give this guy a taste test. That is so good. I could almost drink the sauce by itself, but I won't because I'm a good cook. Then what we're gonna do is go ahead and take this and as you can see, it's all mixed in there now. Oop, now you can see. It's all mixed in. I'm gonna stir it up some, and then you're just gonna throw it in the oven for 30 minutes. So now, you do the next best part. Add even more cheese to it. Thank goodness for the ketogenic diet, especially while you're doing a cut, because this is one of my favorite meals. Normally, my dad used to make it all the time growing up. One of my favorite meals, and I always feel kind of guilty eating it because it's so much fat, but I love it. And on the ketogenic diet, it's perfect. So, oven's preheated to 350. We're gonna pop this bad boy open and stick him in here for 30 minutes. And so in 30 minutes, I will see you and you can see the finished project. It is finally cooled down and ready to eat. Picture of it without it falling. Don't fall too fast. So as you can see, while you guys weren't looking with the magic of video editing, I was also able to make some garlic asparagus, as well as these little like keto breadstick things. I took this one and just kind of cut it in half and put some butter on it, and threw it in the oven for a bit. So I did throw some pepper on top of this chicken broccoli just because that's how I always eat it, so it was kind of habitual. But let's see if I can find some, get some of this sauce. The sauce still is a little bit runny. It's either because I haven't let it cool down all the way, so it's still hot, so I haven't had time to like solidify it, or it's because I didn't let it reduce enough prior. But I tried to taste it already, like when it was coming out of the oven. It was fantastic. So anyways, without further ado, let's taste this. Yeah, that is so good. The broccoli is like a perfect soft and crunchiness. And the chicken, even though you know it's not chicken breast, but the chicken thigh, it's got so much more flavor to it. Let's, you know, while we're here, let's just take some of this bread off. Usually I would use like French bread and just soak up the sauce with it, because that's one of my favorite parts. But you know, keto, can't do that. So they're really good. They take about an hour to bake, so I threw them in the oven beforehand. And like I said, just heated them up in the oven real quick and broil. But yeah, this is fantastic. I'm really excited to finish eating this. This is my meal prep for the rest of the week. So I'm gonna be eating a lot of chicken broccoli, and I'm so stoked for it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video and watching me cook. I'm not a perfect cook. I definitely don't you know, measure a lot of things. I just kind of wing it and hope for the best, and it almost always turns out. That's one of the best parts about cooking. Baking, that's a whole nother story, but we won't get into that right now. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a like. That's gonna wrap up my very first, what did I say we were gonna call it? Fat Fit Food Friday. There we go, 4 F's. That's gonna wrap that up. So, you know, until next time, stay fit.